Islamophobia march that happened in London, Ontario yesterday, where Prime Minister Justin Trudeau had attended the 1-year anniversary of the Afzaal family and their death. I want to take you to Prime Minister Justin Trudeau's speech when he talks about Islamophobia and his thoughts on what the tragic events that took place a year ago.
Hello everyone, Mayor Holder, Mohammed, Nav, Dr. Suleiman, for your incredible words, young leaders from the YCCI, thank you for your words, and mostly thank you for your continued action and support for the London community. It was extremely important for me to be here today on this extremely difficult day for the families, for the Muslim community in London, but also for Muslims across Canada and indeed all Canadians. This is one of those days where, as I heard from the young people earlier, a number of people were saying, how could this happen in Canada? And racialized Canadians, Muslim Canadians, Canadians of diverse intersectionalities and backgrounds nodded and said, yeah, unfortunately, this can happen in Canada. Because even as Omar alluded to this, a lot of us pat ourselves on the back for not being as challenging as the United States is on a day-to-day basis. There's no reason for us to be complacent in Canada. There's no reason for us to turn our backs on the lived reality of millions of Canadians who live with microaggression, discrimination, and systemic racism every single day. And on this day that we grieve, we also come together in commitment and resolve to make sure that tomorrow and next year and all the days in the future are also better. So I'm glad to be here today, accompanied by members of our Liberal team who commit themselves every single day to fighting for you, to fighting for London, to making it a better world. Omar, Salma, Ariel, and Peter. We're gathered to honor the victims of this horrible tragedy. The lives of 3 generations of Afzaal family were taken by a brutal, cowardly, and brazen act of terrorist violence. Talat, Salman, Madia, and Yumna, we remember them. Yumna was a student here at the Oak Ridge Secondary School. Some of you were her classmates, and I know that you miss her deeply. Today, of course, we also think of Fibe, who turned 10 this year. We talked about him earlier when I had the opportunity to speak with family members, and I feel incredibly privileged and touched to have been able to hear his words in a note on this extremely difficult day. There is no word to describe the courage of this young boy whose life has been changed forever, but I know that even through unimaginable loss and grief, he will grow.
That's Prime Minister Justin Trudeau on Sunday as he attended the 1,000-person march in London, Ontario, and gave a speech at Oak Ridge Secondary School where people showed up to listen to him and other speakers to reflect on the 1-year death of the Afzaal family. Essentially a year ago, the family, Salman Afzaal, who is 46 years old, his wife, 44-year-old Medina Salman, and their 15-year-old daughter, Yumna, and 74-year-old grandmother, Telta Afzaal died when a driver hit them as they were waiting at the to cross the road, and this was motivated by hate, as they were identifiably wearing garbs that identified them as Muslims. Essentially, their 9-year-old son was seriously injured but survived the attack. And this is anniversary of that murder and recognition of Islamophobia here in Canada, and that's what the Prime Minister was talking about. So today at 10 a.m. there's a service that will be held in the memory of that family and what that means for all of us. And as Justin Trudeau was there and lawmakers, and making sure that there is severity when it comes to hate crimes such as this that caused death of an innocent family who just happened to be at the wrong place at the wrong time. And that's the case there.